Okay, welcome back. This is lesson 2. Today we're going to be talking about how we can link ideas together, how we can make them flow from one to the next. Very important for making our writing sound natural and fluent. So let's take a look. So again, part of sounding fluent is being able to connect ideas together naturally. All right. Now, when we just write one basic sentence after the next, it's going to start to sound a little bit repetitive. It's going to sound like we're just saying the same thing again and again. So instead, what native speakers do when they're writing, when they're speaking, is they use some introductory clauses or they use some linking words to help these sentences connect together. So today we're going to look at these two tools and we're going to learn how to use them ourselves. So for introductory clauses, first of all, some of us might not know what a clause is. Don't panic with that. A clause is just a piece of a sentence, okay? It can be a whole sentence, it can be a piece. It's just a name for like a little piece of a sentence, okay? So, with that in mind, an introductory clause, that's an extra piece of information at the beginning of the sentence, and it's going to add or modify the meaning for the rest of the sentence. Again, like we discussed, this is often used to connect ideas together from different sentences. It makes them sound more natural, it makes it clear how they're connected, and it also avoids repetition. So I have some examples here. If we just have a normal sentence like he likes to go shopping, that's fine, okay? This is a clear sentence, it's perfectly grammatically correct. Okay, he likes shopping. He likes to go shopping, okay? Very clear. Now, if we just list sentences like this, one after the next, again, it's going to start to sound old. So, here are some different ways that we can add introductory clauses. So, unlike other kids, he likes to go shopping. On Sundays, he likes to go shopping. After he finishes his homework, he likes to go shopping. Because he is rich, he likes to go shopping. Okay? Now, tell me if you can spot how this changes the sentence. What kind of information are we adding here? Take just a second to think about it. Okay. One thing that I hope you notice is that it's actually very flexible what information we're adding. Okay? Unlike other kids, he likes to go shopping. In this one, we are making a contrast, a comparison to what other kids are like. Maybe other kids like baseball. He likes shopping, okay? He is different. It's adding that information. This one, on Sundays, he likes to go shopping. This is giving us a specific time. He may not like going shopping on Fridays or Thursdays, but on Sunday, kid loves to shop, okay? Same thing here, after he finishes his homework. So here, it's not a day that is the time we're talking about. It's this idea of, this case, this situation. So when does he like to go shopping? It's not a day, but it's when he's finished with his homework. So it's a different kind of time, a little bit more specific. And then this is also a cause for the last one. He is rich, therefore he likes to go shopping. Because he is rich, he likes to go shopping. So notice we have some different information that we can use with this. Okay? And so let's talk about some rules to make sure we use this correctly. So, number one, add a comma after the clause. Notice that for each one of these examples, we have a comma here separating it from the rest of the sentence. Okay? I'm not going to get too specific about the grammar, but basically it's because it is not a full sentence on its own. Okay? We can say, he likes to go shopping, and that is a full sentence. Okay? If I just come up to you on the street and I say, unlike other kids, you're going to think that I'm going a little strange, right? So that tells us it's not a full sentence, so we need to separate it from the other one with a comma. Okay? Don't worry too much about that, but just know we need a comma after the clause. All right? Number 2, you'll notice this as a trend from previous videos, but the clause should be related to the main sentence. If these are not clearly related, if there's no connection, it's going to sound pretty strange, and it's not going to make sense. Okay? Likewise, your original sentence should make sense if it's removed. Okay? So notice we started with this main sentence of he likes to go shopping. So if we use our first example here, unlike other kids, he likes to go shopping. If I took out unlike other kids, the rest of it still makes sense. Okay? So that passes. All right? So 3 rules there. Use a comma after the clause. Clauses should be related to the main sentence. And the main sentence should make sense if it's removed from the rest of the sentence. Okay? Good. All right. Now, we have some linking words here. Okay? Now, linking words, they act in a very similar way to introductory clauses. They're also giving extra context, extra information to the main sentence. And just like introductory clauses, they also help to make these transitions. Now, the difference is that it's not just a clause. Sometimes these can be as simple as one word. Okay? So let's look at some examples. So we have a different main sentence here. John loves his mother. Again, nice, clear, direct, easy sentence here. So we have John, okay, and what does John do? Well, John loves. Who does John love? He loves his mother. All clear, all good. Okay. So how can we modify this? Some examples. Clearly, John loves his mother. Number 2, additionally, John loves his mother. Number 3, nevertheless, John loves his mother. And finally, John loves his mother. Now, notice with these different sentences, they're giving you an idea, a clue of what came before. Okay? Now, let me tell you how I think about this as a native speaker, just to give you an idea. So number 1, clearly, John loves his mother. So if it says clearly, well, the previous sentence or the context, John's going to be showing his love. John's going to be really portraying that in a clear way. Okay? Additionally, John loves his mother. In this one, it's additionally. So that means they must have been listing other things before this. Okay? Number C here, the third one. This one's really interesting. Nevertheless, John loves his mother. So this gives me a clue that maybe John and his mother don't get along that well, right? They might not get along, but nevertheless, he still loves his mother. And then we have here, finally, he loves his mother. So this gives me the idea that it's the last thing that they're listing, right? At the end of it, he loves his mother. Okay? just to give you an idea that these linking words can give you some different context, some different ideas. All right. And some tips to use. So these linking words are often adverbs. Okay, and remember, adverbs are the words that end with ly usually, right? So rapidly, loosely. Okay. These can often be adverbs, but they're not always going to be. Okay. Number two, use commas when they're at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, you can actually put these at different parts of the sentence, but let's not worry about that for now. But when they're at the beginning, we're going to put the comma there. Okay? All right. Then it also has 4 categories. Okay? Emphasis, addition, contrast, and order. So when you are writing your own sentences, try to think about what kinds of connections you want to make. Do you want to show a contrast, or do you want to show addition? Okay? Do you want to show any of these? Let's take a look at how that works specifically. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these different types of linking words. So we have our 4 categories here: emphasis, addition, contrast, and order. All right. Now, take a few minutes. I want to suggest that you write each of these in your journal. All right, and try to use them in your own writing when you want to link words together, when you want to link sentences together and make it sound more natural. So to end today, let's think about our journal activity. So what's your schedule? I want you to write about what did you do this week. Write out some of your activities. Try to use at least one linking word from each category. Okay? So I want you to write out your schedule, and maybe you write it without linking words and without introductory clauses first. And then afterwards, you can try to add some in, okay? But try to link one activity or one day to the next, okay? So write a couple paragraphs, try it out, and I will see you in the next lesson.